Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing coming to you with another tutorial. Today we're going to be using CD envelopes 3 ways. So I'm going to show you how to make 3 different kinds of ephemera using a CD envelope. Now if you don't have CD envelopes, you could just make it out of your own paper, just make your own shape. Do I have another one? I'm almost out of my CD envelopes. So I only have 2 white ones left, so I used coffee stained ones that I had before. But one could make it yourself by just, making a pocket with a flap, cutting a window, putting some cellophane in there. But I understand you can get these on Amazon now. I got a bunch. I got like 100 at the Goodwill a couple years ago, more than a couple years ago. And I think I'm out unless I've stashed them in a different place that I cannot recall. First, an update. You'll probably already know this based on the community tab because I'll probably provide an update before this video posts. But this is my beautiful bear from my daughter Tina, and it looks like Penelope is going to win. She's got about double votes on our second round of voting between Cara Bear and Penelope, and I'm liking that. I feel really good about that, but I will post a final update on the community page, but by the time you see this video it will probably already be resolved. So I just told the group that I'd give it a couple more days. Today is Thursday, January the 2nd. Just going to put Penelope back over there out of my way. And so let me show you, let me move some things out of the way. I've got my typical supplies: eyelet setter, eyelets, Barely Arts glue, Fabri-Tac, my vintage photo archival ink, corner rounder, scissors, a pencil, and some tabs. I cut a bunch of tabs. Now we are going to be making this ephemera for a little bit of it's going to be for the grungy Christmas journal. The rest of it will be for the new winter journal or journals. I haven't decided how many I'm going to make. I'm feeling like I want to try a 2 signature journal or 1 signature journal, maybe even do tab binding. I'm not sure. I'm still mulling that around, but those are some of the ideas that are popping around in my head. So what did I do with my smaller cutter? Let me reach for that really quick. I'm going to try to not get the big cutter out, so I've got the little cutter and score tool here that we can use. We won't need the scoring for this, but that will all make sense in a second. Moving my mouse out of the way, and then these are the pieces that I made. So this is going to be a flip down, so it's going to be glued onto the bottom of a journal page, and it's got a CD. It's got the CD pocket, so without the tags in there, cards in there, you just see that brown backing because they're coffee dyed. And then this just slides back in there, and I cut the circle to fit. I just used the circle that I cut out of the big piece, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about how I do that here in a second. So yeah, and then we've got a bigger tag behind, which I think will slide down a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. I'm going to reach for a piece of paper just so I can show you what I did. So hopefully it will make a modicum of sense to you. What did I do with the die? You could not have put it away already. That's just very unlike you, Cara-Renee. I can tell you what die I used, but what size by just measuring this window. So let me do that really quickly. I don't know what I did with the die. I don't think I put it away, but the window is 3 3/4 inches round. So I used that size die. And basically all I did is I took my image and I just placed that die cut with enough room on either side of it and top and bottom to accommodate, the area around it. Okay, so I've done this before where I've actually showed you the die cutting process on camera. I'm not going to do that today, but that is how I do it. And then I just remove that circle. I glue this on, which you will see that part, glue it onto the CD envelope, and then onward we go. So I got rid of my mouse pad, so now I'm concerned that my mouse is just floating free on the table, so I'm going to move that one more time. So that's the first one. So it's going to be a flip down, and then I made it like this so that this image on the other side is is the other way. It could also act as a pocket on the other side. So there's an opening still there. At the same time, there's an opening here. So that's the first one. The second one is just a CD envelope pocket. So it's all we needed there was just, I cut the flap off and I just made a pocket. It's a little bit ripply and stuff because it is coffee dyed, but I kind of like that look. You can see it's really gappy because it's had, you know, liquid in it, coffee. So this one didn't line up as good as my other ones. The idea, in my opinion, is to have these line up exactly, but I didn't quite do that one. Well, I guess it's pretty good right there. Yeah. So it's supposed to look seamless. Just decorated that, but see, that's why, because this is crooked. So something's crooked on my card. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to have so many that one of each of these will go into my reference journal as well. And then the last one is a CD pocket on a belly band. So let me show you this one as well. And it's got lots of stuff. So it's got 2 large journal cards. Okay, all these digitals will be linked below. These are the new ones that I got for the winter journal. And then this flips up like that. This is our belly band. I glued the flap of the CD envelope onto the back of the belly band. So we've got this. I could have done some writing space here, but I think you could write on that if someone really, really wanted to. But yeah, that's our belly band. And then obviously when the belly band is attached, the cards slide in. And I put my seam binding on opposite ends of each of those cards so that it kind of is staggered. And this is the beautiful sari silk from that I was pulling off of the packages from the advent calendar that Sharon sent me. Yeah, which by the time you see this, you will have seen that little share video, which was epic and fun. So let's see what we're going to do. So there's the die. So this is the die I used. I put it with the supplies. Imagine that. So this is the one that will be the flip down, and then this one will be the belly band because it's got a big piece of card, and then this one will be the pocket. So let me just set the other two out of the way here. Let's start with the belly band. So I am going to have to bring my cutter over because I cut some things down, but not completely. So the first thing that we're going to do is cut our belly band down. So look at this paper. Isn't it beautiful? This has got this like gold look in it, which I love. It looks very mixed media-ish. So let me trim this down. I'm going to trim it down to probably 3.5 by 8 1/4. So let me do that really quick. So that is that, and I'm pretty sure we got it 8 1/4, but let's check. Yep, 8 1/4. So that is our belly band, and I really like the rounded corners, but we'll get to that in a moment. So that is all ready to go. Now, I'm going to do this similar to the one I did before. I'm going to put it on the other side of the belly band, so I'm just going to fold that flap in. It's a little crispy, so I did have some tearing on my other one, so there we go. Not too bad. Now we do need to open one of the sides, so if we have it go this way, which it doesn't really matter. Well, it has to go this way because, well, it depends on what side of the page the belly band is on. I'm going to do it the same way I did before. I'm going to do it this way. It does not really matter. I'm not concerned about inking all this up because it's already grungy from the coffee dye. And so this is what I'm talking about in terms of how I did that cutting. So this was my whole piece of paper. And when I put it into my machine, I made sure that I had enough, a little bit more than enough on either side to account for these edges as well as the top and the bottom. So the only trouble that I had was lining this up once I put it on another piece of paper. Oh, I don't have another piece of paper. Oh no, we'll use this. We'll use this. So because we have to glue this onto something, which we can glue her on there. That would be fine. Or we could do it on the back. But I think I'm going to put it on, because I want the writing space on the back. Maybe we'll pull her down like this so that we've got some of that ground there. But that's going to get glued on here. The trickiest part of this project is lining this up so that it is the same as this. But we will use our Fabri-Tac, which will give us a little bit more time. So the first step is to go ahead and glue this on here. I can trim off all the edges once I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Fabri-Tac, and actually, I feel like I want to get that bottom settled first before we move on. So I'm just having a second thought about the ease of this. So I'm just going to pick this up and turn it over, and I'm going to make a pencil line here like that, and I'm just going to trim that off just right from the get-go. Actually, let's bring the trimmer over, you know. It could be a disaster if I try to do that myself, because my line is even crooked. There we go. Okay, so then I know that I can line this up exactly with the bottom, and that could potentially help me with this as well, because one could just, let's experiment together. I could just line this up here and then measure the distance here and make a mark there so that I can get that in the same spot. So this is a 1/2 inch. So I should be able to go over here and go a 1/2 inch and make a mark so that I know that that's how far down that circle needs to go. That will probably work really, really well rather than guessing. But we're not ready for that at the moment. Back to this. So we do need to cut this side open because we want to have it open to slide the cards into. So let's just take a smidge off. You know what, I'm going to do it by hand because I don't think that cutter is going to handle this crispy paper very well. So I'm just going to slice that open. Perfecto. Okay, now we can glue it on, and we can cut around all the rest of that once we get it on the envelope. I did find it was helpful to ink this edge where the flap is so that I know where because I'm going to open it up to put the glue on, and I'm going to put the glue right on the CD envelope itself. And I put a little, I have the domed thing now, and so it won't stand up. So I put some Velcro on here so I can just have it not roll off, hopefully. We'll see. I just did that. Okay, so now I can open that up, and well, that's not going to really matter. That doesn't really matter. Does not really matter. So I'm just going to, well, it does for my glue line. So sorry, guys. Here we go. I don't want to get any glue on that, which I just did. So you do want to be continually thinking about which edge you want that folded on so you don't accidentally do something backwards or something of that nature. So I'm just going to place it on here, and I'm just going to wiggle it until it looks straight-ish. Okay, looks pretty good. I've got a little bit more of a border down here than I wanted, so, but that's okay. On one of them, I did remember to ink the inside of the window, but it's not a big deal if you don't. So was not exactly straight, was it? Let's just try to turn that a little bit and see. We just want to make sure we're still in the window, but that will help us lining up the other piece that's going to go inside a little bit easier. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and trim the edges off, being careful not to cut anything open. So I don't do it with the trimmer because that's just asking for trouble. Just like so. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. That's a little bit got a little bit too much of a border there, but that's okay. So let's just ink around this so you can kind of see the beauty of the brown on the blue, which I love so much. There's a lot of dark to this image, so it's not going to be as pronounced. But there you go. There is your little window. And then we just want to make sure this doesn't get glued shut. Okay, so now this is going to be very tricky because of the way I decided to do this. So we actually need to, again, we can line it up here. Yeah, it shouldn't matter. It should not matter. And then I'm just going to I am going to do this the right way, and I'm going to measure here from the inside of this window to the edge so that I can mark my paper. So this is 5/8 of an inch. So over here, I'm going to do 5/8 of an inch. Hopefully I can make this work. And see my lines. That's always the tricky part after you make these lines. It's like, where did they go? It's right there. So hopefully we can see that. And then the other edge is narrower. So it is about 3/8 of an inch. So we're going to kind of stay in the same vicinity here of our mark. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, that's the mark. So we're going to stay in that vicinity, and we're going to do 3/8 of an inch, right? Is that what I said? 3/8 of an inch. Okay, we're going to make a mark there. So now we know exactly what our parameters are for our other piece. So I'm going to try to make that a little bit darker so I can see it. And then I do want to ink around that circle to make it pop off the background, because technically it would be better if you put this on like a more neutral background, but I'm going to use what I have and try not to waste. So we're just going to do this. Okay. And so now we know that our boundaries are here, here, and here. So if I line it up there, the other thing that's a problem is the tilt. Okay. So it looks like it's pretty straight, so I think we'll be okay, but we'll pick it up immediately and stick it in the envelope when we still have room to move it around. Okay, that's the gift of Fabri-Tac. In fact, let's just put this right here so that I can kind of see that I'm getting it at the right angle based on the fence. Okay, so I'm lining it up to that bottom mark. And oh, that didn't really work very well because I didn't go high enough up. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I can't do that though because, oh shoot. Because I would have to cut that card down. Now I don't have enough time. So let's just check our measurements again here. 3/8. Let's just slide that over just a smidge. And then I would recommend the marking it. My measurements were off there. Shoot. Okay, well, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and trim this down so that maybe we still will have time. So I'm going to cut it about right here because I want it to have plenty of room to slide in. So I'm just going to turn to my trimmer and do that. I wasn't thinking about this being side loading, so that does change it. Because when the top loading pocket, you have time to, I mean, you can actually slide it in there right away and see where you're at. So let's just slide that in and see how we did. Come on. Come on, honey. Come on in. That's way too tight. Way too tight. But we don't have a lot of time here to mess around. Yeah, it's going to be fine. So I am going to take off just a smidge more off the top just so it's not so hard to get in there. And I mean just a smidge. Like, I'm hoping that this cutter will even do it. Yes, it did. Okay, and I like to round the corners, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Yes, love it. Okay, So we want to put a tab on here. I've got a ton of tabs over here. I just cut like crazy. A bunch that will work for these projects. So let's just do that really quick. I'm not going to put the seam binding and eyelets all in this on camera. You guys have seen me do that before, and I want to save time here on the video since we've got 3 projects that we're doing. Now I did find that in all of them, my eyelet that I put on this piece did either touch that circle or overlap it, but that's not a problem at all. Okay, so that's going to go inside of the CD thing. Now we want to do another one, but the problem with this is it's only just as wide, and that's really not what I wanted. So I think what I'll do, because I think I'll use this one to go behind the belly band, so I think I'll probably make another one that maybe has more design going this way, that I could make it extend. I like those whale tail punches or tabs to stagger a little bit, but that's okay. So that goes like that. So I don't think I'm going to round the top of that, but I will let's put a whale tail tab on here, and then I'll create another one to go. Well, we could probably just use this, couldn't we? Except it's pretty narrow. So I'll find something else to do that. So let's go ahead and stick this in the pocket just so you can get the look of it. And I will also embellish these similar to what I did with the prototypes or the samples, because I just don't want to take the time on video, because otherwise it makes the video so long. But there we go. I love it. And you wouldn't actually have to have anything else in this pocket. You know, you could, but you don't have to. So that is that. So that's going to go behind the belly band. Let's go ahead and round this as well. You will be able to see all of the decorated pieces at the end of the video. Usually when I'm done filming, and usually while I'm editing, I finish up I do all the extra touches, and I'll put a whale tail tab on the top part of this one, and I'll do another card and put it at the bottom, so they'll be staggered. And then this is going to, well, we can go ahead and attach this, can't we? So I can show you that part as well. So I'm just going to turn this over, and I'm going to go more center than I did on the other one. I didn't really go center on that. So I'm not being super, you know, concerned about measuring. I mean, I could go like this and actually measure. Let's see what that looks like. So that would be about right there. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put some glue on there. I'm careful about not getting too close to this edge, because we don't want it to ooze into the pocket part of this. So that's a little bit weak. What's going on with that? Interesting. Very interesting. Maybe I didn't go far enough over. There we go. Okay. There she is. The ink that got a little bit of white showing. That's just a little bit of an overhang. No worries. Okay. So that is our belly band one with a couple of journaling cards. And so when that gets glued in, it gets glued at top and bottom, and you've got a beautiful, beautiful piece of ephemera. So that is the first one. I'm going to stick that up there out of my way. And let's go for the second one. So the second one we'll do is the flip down, okay? So I'm going to do some of this sped up, because you already just saw me do some stuff on the other one in terms of gluing this down and all of that stuff. So I will just turn some music on for you. There we go. I'll go ahead and just set that on there. I don't like to leave the music going too long. So we'll pop back and forth. Oh, that was perfectly straight. Love it. So just going to give that a good press, and then we'll do our trimming. I love this paper. I think this one's going to go into the Grungy Christmas Journal because it's the same papers I've been using. I love them very much. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this up so I can trim these edges. Again, being careful not to cut it open. One more edge. If for whatever reason you did accidentally slice it open, you just could put some glue in there. It would change the, it would take away some of your landscape because the glue takes up space, so you might have to readjust some things, but it can be done. So I've done it before. I'm not going to do it again here. I'm trying to be very careful. There we go. So that is our CD envelope covered. And so as you notice, the flap is at the bottom because it's going to go like this. Now you could also do it from the top and have it go this way. I just decided to do from the bottom for some reason. I did that again. Okay, so that's that. So this one's going to be easier for us to do because we can get our width right, and then we can just slide it in there. So I think this was the piece, oh, I can't remember what piece I was going to put this on. I guess it doesn't really matter. So this is this goes in the window. Okay, let's see where she went. Where'd she go? Right here. Okay, so this is going to be tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Because this one is not going to be, it's going to be harder because of just the images, but that's okay. We can do it. Okay. So again, we want to measure from this bottom part down and just make sure. These can be irregular, so don't assume that they're the same. Plus, it's whatever you took off, sliced off of something would change the measurements. So this is about 7/16 of an inch. So we're going to go over here and mark that at 7/16 of an inch. Thank you for this special ruler. Okay, so there we go. And so this is this way. So let's go ahead and do the same. Let's just follow that same process we did on the other one. And this is 5/8-ish, just under 5/8. So we're going to go up here and go 5/8. Hopefully I'll be able to see it. The closer we get it to the right measurement, the less headache it will create. And this one is about 1/2 of an inch over on that side. So I'll make that mark a little bit bigger. 1/2 of an inch. Okay. So those are our boundaries. Oh, where did the bottom one go? Oh, this is so hard. Where did it go? Doggone it. My eyes play tricks on me, you know. Did that happen to you? 7/16. So let's see if we can make that a little... Oh, there it is. I see it now. So we gotta just bring it over onto that white lace. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's ink this up. All right. Now, of course, one would not have to do what I'm doing. You could just pick an image that had a really great image on it that could go in that window. But I wanted this. I like that seamless look. It's just something that I do a lot of. So I'm going to bring this over here and try to line it up so that I can, well, I'll have to put the glue on it and then do that again. I hope I haven't lost you yet. Okay, let's try this and see. Did I cut it down? Oh, it's not cut down. Why didn't you tell me? Let me cut a little bit off of each side. Okay, laugh with me all you want. So let's get this in here. Come on, we're gonna have to trim it down more. Ah! Silliness, girl. It's okay, because we can wiggle this around on the inside. It doesn't have to fill up the whole pocket. We can make it work. So there we go. That's what we're after. I don't know why I'm panicking, because it's turned out okay every time so far, but it's a little nerve-wracking. We'll trim more off if we need to. This is getting tight. Why is it so tight? We're not going to be able to move this, you guys. What is going on here? It's just too tight. So I'm going to trim off more. It's okay. It's the distance from the outside of the circle that is the more important part. It's not the width per se of the sides of your card. I hope that makes some sense, because I don't think I made that very clear. It's the distance from here to here and here to here. And so we will not be able to move this now. So hopefully she's not too crooked, because we are sunk now. We are committed. We are committed. Oh yes, yes, it worked. It's a little bit off, but a little bit high there. But it is fine. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Okay. So I do have to think about, so on my other one, I was, yeah, see how it's showing too much there. Probably cannot move that, can we? Too much time has passed. That is okay. Remember what we say in the studio here. Perfection is not at play. Now, everybody has their own style, so you could certainly take more time than I took to do this, okay? But it's just, again, perfection, you want the illusion of what's happening here, which is that your bulb is lined up. So it's a little bit off in terms of the height. So you can see my bulb is off, but we're gonna be okay with that. So we're going to take some off the top of this so that we can make a tag shape. I like to just take a little bit off at a time and see what I end up with. I like that. So I'm going to grab one of my tag templates here. And on this one, I think I'm not going to do anything with the back. I'm going to let that be, because when this goes on the other side of the page, I might want to choose to decorate it with something entirely different on the other side. So I'm going to leave that the way it is versus decorate it like I did on my sample. So I wish that had lined up better. It's a bummer. Let's go ahead and put a whale tail punch on here. Let's see what we got. What do we got? And again, I'll put away eyelet on there, and that will slide in here. Okay. Again, we can go ahead and slide her in and just enjoy that. Enjoy the crookedness. Oh my gosh. I wonder. Yes, so see, the whole thing is just the circle was too far up or down. Should be right there. And let's see how I've got some of that showing in there, which is not what I want. So it's okay. It's okay. You get the point. And then let's go ahead and just trim this one down a little bit. So I'm going to just line it up here and have it be about at the height of that, and then all the way down here to the bottom. Okay, let me just trim that up. And we will round the corners on this one. They don't have to be the same. I love this paper inked up. It's just so grungy and beautiful. I don't know if I could junk journal if I didn't have any vintage photo archival ink. I don't know. I have to ink. I have to have that little bit of grungy accent on everything that I make. So it's okay. It's me. There we go. Okay, let's put a whale tail tab on. Oh, wait a minute. That one was supposed to be shorter. I did this before. So this one has to be short and this one has to be long because this one goes in the window. I mean, we could put this on the back and it would show through the other side. Let's try that. We could do that. Okay. I'm going to pause on that. That one should have been shorter. I did that on my prototype too. What the heck was I thinking? But that's okay. It's looking a little bit better. Oh, yikesies. Anyway, I might just cut another one of these and have it go. Yeah, I think maybe I'll just put it in here. Let's go ahead and put a whale tail punch on. Let's not waste it. Let's not waste. Waste not, want not. Isn't that what they say? These ones don't exactly go with this paper, the Christmas paper, but it's okay. Alrighty. And we've got one more. The pocket's pretty easy, but you'll get to see me do it one more time in case 2 times was not enough. Okay, there we go. Just aiming for the center. And again, I'll put some eyelets on there and such, but that will go in the opposite way, which will be kind of cool because when it flips down, you'll be able to see that, which will be neat. So, and then I'll put a little bit of sentiment on here, and I might even find a taller card. Let's see what our total height is here. That will help me. Yeah, see, I could go another, so 8 1/4. So I could do a taller card and have it stick up higher than that one. I might do that. And keep that one as well. So that is our second one, which is our flip down, okay? And then our last one is our pocket. Super easy. These are the papers from KleeblattCreations that I showed in a previous video that I was going to be using them. And so on the pocket, we can just cut this flap off because we don't need it for the pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that really quick. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and we don't have as much to worry about here. And I'm wondering how, if just one of these images would be cool in there. I think I still want to do that. I like that tree. So, what was I going to put it on? What was I going to put it on? Doggone it. I did not plan that very well. Again, I did a lot more work on the project after I did the initial prototypes and then I did more work. I'm wondering if this could work. This could work. Maybe we'll put it on here. What do you think? Yeah, I think that's better. I think that's a better choice. So, but we're not there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and same process. I'm going to glue this onto here. This time I'm remembering to ink this because it looks really cool when you ink this inner edge of the circle. I think what I love the best about these coffee dyed CD envelopes is they make that wonderful crispy sound. It's so delightful. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this down there. Boom. Uh-oh. Wrong way. This way. Almost did that wrong. I almost did it wrong. It's okay. Just get it on there. Yep, like that. Turn it over. It's not straight, so I'm going to try to turn it. Look again. Okay, because that will help us get our tree straight. Hopefully. It's an imperfect art. I'm going to go ahead and trim around this. There we go. Oh, that one's really pretty. I love that. Very, very much. Okay. So I'm not sure what I was thinking about why I pulled this one. Well, that one's kind of pretty too, isn't it? Because it goes a little bit more with the style of this. So we could do this as well. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently this time and see if I have more success. So watch and learn, or watch and wag your finger at me. Be like, there's a better way, Cara-Renee. There's a better way. What do you guys think? See, I think this one's a little bit too, well, I don't know. The colors are similar, aren't they? It feels like this will pop off of there a lot better, but I don't think it's wide enough. I don't think it's wide enough because it fits in there, but it's not got enough of a margin. So let's do this. This time I'm going to glue it on, okay? And I'm going to get it on there straight, and then I will cut or measure around. So let's do that differently. So I'm getting it on here so I've got about the same margin on both sides. Visually looking, I like that better than that other one. And I'm looking to see that my tree is straight. So it looks to be straight on the paper. So that's the main concern there, because we're not going to get to move that this time. So, yeah, that's not going to help me. That's not going to help me. So let's go ahead and measure. I don't know that this was the better solution or not. So we're about 5/8 of an inch from the bottom. So from my circle down, I'm going to go 5/8 of an inch, and that's where I'm going to cut that. And I'm just going to take a slice off either side so I can see if I can slide it in. See if we can wiggle this in and see. We probably can't move it, but it's okay. Yeah, we're still too wide, aren't we? Ugh, ugh, ugh. A little more. This one's a little bit less discreet. It looks like it's going to be good, but I need to cut off a little bit more off of the edge, and it looks like off the bottom. Oh, come on. What? Goodness gracious. Until you get the bottom right, you don't know. No, the sides look fine. That actually looks really good. Just a smidge more off the bottom, and I mean like a smidge, like a hair's breadth. So I'm just going to use my scissors to do that. My trimmer does not do that very well. Okay. So there we go. This one worked out pretty good. I don't think it was my change in technique though, just for the record. So that can come up a little bit. These CD envelopes that are copy dyed, they're a little bit harder to work with in some ways because they're just not flat. They're all crinkly and crumply, but that looks really good. Okay, so this one needs to be shorter, so we're not going to make that mistake. We're going to go right here and just leave about 1 inch at the top sticking out. Okay, and then this one, we'll round the corners on this one, do that opposite as the other one. So I'm going to get another piece and I'm going to cut one down for the bigger tag. And I'm just going to speed that up really quick. There's our larger, taller tag. So I'm going to make my tag shape out of this. We're going to use the number 1 is my favorite shape. And there's no measurement. Like, I mark them just as like a reference, but it's not like that's the amount it was you know, cut at, or an angle or anything like that. So don't want to confuse anybody. There we go. These beautiful images. I used KleeblattCreations images last year as well for my Christmas, I think Christmas and winter. I think I used some of her digitals in the winter journals last year as well. The only thing I don't like about this, see how that just popped open? It's just kind of different, but it's okay. It's kind of more scrappy. So that's going to slide in here, and then off camera. Oh, that's lovely. I will again put on a little bit of decoration, some whale tail tabs. We can put one here and here. And that is it. So let's bring all three of these in camera so you can see what we've got going on there. Boom. 3 ways to use your CD envelopes. A great use of them. Again, you can get them on Amazon, I believe. I'll try to find them so that I can actually link them for you since I'm mentioning that. But I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.